Okay, it's recording now. Um, Hello everyone. I'm here with Tony Marquez, who is best known for playing Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, and was Fujin, who was known as the Wind God at the time in Mortal Kombat mythology Sub-Zero. Let me be the first to say thank you for doing this interview.
Oh, no problem. How you doing there, Brian?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just trying to, finish out this year and looking forward to 2021.
Yeah. Who knows what that'll bring us? Aside from a new Mortal Kombat movie.
Sure. I'm very excited about that Mortal Kombat movie. I hope it does well. I hope it's been done well. So yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, first rated R live action Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, all right.
Complete with fatalities. And, let's start off the bat with um, is it true that you were supposed to beat the male ninjas in the original Mortal Kombat game?
So that's the story. That's when they were filming the original Mortal Kombat. They'd filmed Johnny Cage and Raiden and Kano, Liu Kang, all of those people. And I was talking to Danny, and Danny says that, oh yeah, you're supposed to film the ninjas, tomorrow. This is what's going on or whatever. And the day before we're supposed to film, I dropped a weight on my foot. I broke my foot, and I was unable to film the ninjas. Danny did a great job, and Danny is very reflective in Scorpion and Sub Zero. But it was no big deal at the time because Mortal Kombat obviously wasn't released yet, so it's like, oh, they're working on a video project or a game project, whatever. But then you realize, you see the release of Mortal Kombat, it becomes this giant arcade game, and all of a sudden, the home release is happening. So you're seeing all of this advertisement for the home release, and politicians are talking about it, in terms of how to regulate violence in video games. So you see it everywhere. You see it in the arcade, you see it in magazines, you see people talking about it on C-SPAN. So it became, this global phenomenon. And so when Mortal Kombat 2 came around, I knew that I needed to be part of that.
And thus you became Kung Lao.
Correct.
Was the ninja costume custom tailored to originally fit you?
So no, so these the costumes, the costume budget was really, really minuscule. If when you go to when you go to events now, and for me specifically, when I see cosplayers, they're all great, but some of them are so intricate, and you could see how much time, money, detail is put into these into their cosplay. It blows my mind. For the costumes for the game, if you took the absolute worst cosplay you ever saw, and then you make that worse by a factor of 10, that's exactly how these costumes were. They were so bad. They were so there's no budget to make these costumes, so nothing was really tailored for anybody. They were just pieces that they got from costume shops, and things that they're
That they
things
had
like,
lying
yeah,
about in
yeah,
the house.
exactly.
Yeah, like say, oh, I'm not using this shirt anymore. I might as well make it into like I could use it as a costume.
Exactly.
And I know that Danny used like a yellow like kung fu sash for like the face mask for Scorpion.
Yes, so that's how those costumes were made originally.
Yeah, I actually did that before. Like I do that sometimes when I cosplay as Scorpion.
Oh,
And I also have this little number right here.
that's awesome.
Yeah. And I remember hearing that it was hard to actually keep this in place because they couldn't find a way to keep it like attach it to, and I actually use an elastic band. And since the elastic band is actually stretching, pretty soon it's not going to be functional. So I'm thinking about buying some cinch straps,
Okay.
cutting them in half, and gluing them in place like here and here and here and here. That way I could actually attach it via like feeding what like cutting the cinch straps in half and feeding one end through one end and then feeding it to the other end and then attaching this velcro attaching it to the velcro. That way it's nice and snug. Let's see here. Who did you enjoy portraying more, Kung Lao or Fujin?
Oh well, Kung Lao is very much something that I hold very close to my heart. Um, what my main background is in Chinese martial arts. I was very much influenced by Bruce Lee and the whole kung fu movement of the 70s. So I really, really, really uh, enjoy being Kung Lao. Fujin was cool, but Fujin's a wind god. It's very much that was very much work for hire. But in terms of being Kung Lao, our our personalities are the same. Our fighting styles are the same. It's exactly who I am in terms of the influences is through what type of martial arts I do, the type of life I like to lead, all of those things. So I'm very much attached to Kung Lao.
Did you like how Mark Dacascos portrayed him in season 2 of Mortal Kombat Legacy?
I'm really happy with everybody, whether it's Paolo, whether it's Mark Dacascos, whether it's Max Huang, whether it's my son. Everybody brings a different element to portraying Kung Lao. What I am happy about, in a very selfish sense, is that when you look at like Paolo from Mortal Kombat Conquest. When I first saw that, it is very much that when other companies buy the rights to the IP, they want to bring their own people in, which is fine. That's their own right, and they want to do their own version of everything. But when I first saw the first images of Mortal Kombat Conquest, I looked at that like, I don't remember filming this. And it is funny that Paulo and I look so much alike, especially like the first couple of images with him with the hat on or whatever. And you know, Kung Lao is just a Shaolin monk, a Chinese Shaolin monk, but I'm obviously Filipino. And then Paulo is also Filipino. Mark Dacascos is part Filipino and other things. And even Max Huang is, I think he's half Chinese and Vietnamese or something like that, and half Caucasian. But so there's always something that kind of reflects back to me. Now, Kung Lao looks as the way he does because when John Tobias was coming up with the concept of Kung Lao or whatever, those first images that appeared on online, those drawings are all based on me. So it is kind of cool that no matter who plays Kung Lao, there's always some sort of reflection back to the original, which would be me.
Mhm.
So in a very selfish way, I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, you mentioned your son also playing Kung Lao. So that would technically make you the great Kung Lao.
Yeah, exactly.
First person to be the great Kung Lao.
Yeah, so my son's been doing playing Kung Lao since the Mortal Kombat HD. That I wish they would have finished that project.
Hmm.
That ran into difficulties, but then he worked on Kung Lao, Mortal Kombat versus DC, and the other Mortal Kombat since then up through Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah. That's cool. That it's been like a family tradition, so to say.
Yeah, it's very cool. For again, I couldn't be happier that Kung Lao is like a legacy character for our family.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Yes.
Um, do you have any of the costumes that you wore?
So I've moved. It's been obviously about 30 years or whatever, and I've lost all of the pieces of the costume except for the hat. I do have the original hat, and that is going to stay with me as long as I can see. Yeah, the hat is really, really, really at some point that thing belongs in the Smithsonian Institute.
Mm.
It's one of those iconic pieces to obviously an iconic video game, part of pop culture history. But yes, the hat. I have the hat, and that's staying with me.
Yeah, you'll probably want to be buried with it.
Yeah.
Like, no one's taking this hat from me. Even
Yes.
um, if Kung Lao was in the 1995 film or the sequel, who would you have wanted to portray at the character?
um, that's a good question. I always thought that Shang Tsung, Kiryogawa, I thought he would actually be a kind of a cool Kung Lao. I thought he would be if we had to pick somebody in the that era of 1995, if we had to pick somebody else, I would like to have seen him be Kung Lao. In terms of this new era, I'm really excited about Max. I really want to see what he brings to the table. I know he's a great martial artist. He's part of the Jackie Chan stunt team, and I've seen other stuff that he's been in, and I think he's great. Hopefully he kills it.
Um, what are your thoughts on the art direction that the franchise has gone through?
Oh, in terms of especially Mortal Kombat 11,
Hmm.
when I first saw the first images and the um, footage released from that, I was blown away. I think it's the most beautiful game I've ever seen. Um, you know, uh, and now that especially now that they're adding like Rambo, Terminator, all of that stuff. That's how cool and everything. I find that quite enjoyable. But yeah, I think Mortal Kombat 11 is a beautiful game. Some people think that Mortal Kombat 2 is maybe the greatest game in a franchise, but Mortal Kombat 11 is also pretty great also.
Yeah. Would you ever be interested in seeing Mortal Kombat versus Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter crossover?
Oh, definitely. I like Killer Instinct a lot, and Street Fighter especially when we were working on Mortal Kombat,
Mm.
and we're going around the country pushing the original, Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, or whatever. A lot of my friends, a lot of the guys that I trained with, my Kung Fu brothers, they actually enjoyed Street Fighter more. And that would drive me nuts. That, hey, we're getting all this shine. You're getting shine because you're with me, and we're at tournaments or at conventions or whatever, pushing Mortal Kombat. But you guys enjoy Street Fighter a lot more, and so that always bothered me.
Yeah, you're dissing Kung Lao here.
Yes. I think they're just, a lot of times they were just them joking around. But yeah, I love Street Fighter. I love Killer Instinct. So,
If you could travel to any of the realms in the Mortal Kombat universe, which one would you choose?
oh, no matter what, the Earth realm is that's our home. This is where we live, and this is what we need to defend. So yeah, so the Earth Realm is still my favorite. But doesn't matter.
Do you think that there's a place in Mortal Kombat for real martial artists?
Say that again.
Do you think that there's a place in the Mortal Kombat franchise for real martial artists?
Yeah, well, especially as we're talking, Danny, Hosung, Rich, Carlos, myself, Shang Tsung, Philip, Catalin, we're all lifelong martial artists. It was built around that. That's what it needs to be. My son, who's working on it now, is a lifelong martial artist. He's won many national tournaments. The other people who work on it, like Laura Kim, she's also another world class martial artist. Mindy Kelly is also a world class martial artist. So yeah, the more martial artists that they bring in, the better the better the franchise is.
Mm. Let's see here. Who would you want to see play Kung Lao in a future Mortal Kombat movie?
So yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to Max Huang's portrayal. I hopefully, that's I'm sure he'll kill it. I'm sure it'll be awesome. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, let's see how that goes first, and but I'm really excited about that.
Um, what are your thoughts on the current portrayal of Kung Lao in the games, like his mannerisms and stuff like that?
I like it. Really, what it is the dynamic, especially the dynamic between Kung Lao and Liu Kang. And this harkens back to Hosung and I. Like I said, we're all trained together. We all had the same martial arts masters or whatever. And especially when Hosung and I trained together in China. That's something very reminiscent of Liu Kang and Kung Lao training in the Shaolin Temple together. Where we're both pushing each other. We're both we both want to be the best. And the only way that we can do that is to push each other to be the best. I talk about this a lot in my book, Kung Fu Rockstar. So make sure that if you haven't bought that yet, make sure that you guys pick this up. This book talks a lot about how how Kung Lao met Johnny Cage, how we all trained together, Hosung and I adventures in China, how we always competed at the same tournaments, before the Outworld tournament. So there's a lot of I hopefully you guys find it interesting stuff to read about Mortal Kombat and how it ties together with our own life experiences.
Yeah, and you can pick up a copy on Amazon.
Correct.
Yeah, I still have to order my copy. And I'm also going to be ordering Philip's book.
Yeah, Philip is also somebody who has a lot to offer. Outside of being Shang Tsung, he's also his life was dedicated to both Taekwondo and martial arts and helping the world. He's done the things like Doctors Without Borders and all of those things, and he really does serve the world's community and trying to help it become a better place. So yeah, highly recommend Mortal Doctor, Mortal Discipline, his second book, and obviously Kung Fu Rockstar.
Yeah. Let's see here. Is there anything else? I'm trying to see here. What was the is it according to my friend? Yeah, my friend Andy wanted to know what was Kung Lao's hat made of, like in the shoots.
Oh, so it is very much your typical, Asian bamboo hat, and so they just spray painted that black, and then the very first, the original blade was something very similar to just aluminum foil that was around the rim that represented the blade. After when we started doing promotional things for Mortal Kombat, I think it was either maybe CES, or I can't remember which of these trade shows. They switched that to a like a plastic rim around the hat that very much
Yeah.
looked like a metal blade. So that's what it is. But it's just a bamboo Asian hat with some tinfoil around the rim that was switched out to a facsimile of a metal blade.
Yeah. Mm. Which of Kung Lao's fatalities would you say is your favorite?
Oh, the by far the spin. Because I'm such a huge Michael Jackson fan. Whenever I can, do anything that kind of harkens back to Michael Jackson, that would be, that's my favorite. And so when we're talking about, oh, we need you to spin around and cut people up with a hat. You mean you want me to spin like Michael Jackson? Of course I'm going to do this. So this is exactly my favorite fatality of all of them.
Yeah. Do you know who did the voice for when Kung Lao does the throw?
I do not. Maybe it was Ed. I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, cool, cool, cool. Well, I'm glad to have done this interview with you. Again, make sure to pick up Kung Fu Rockstar on Amazon. And yeah, hope everyone has a safe holiday. Let's get through the rest of the year. And I'm wishing everybody a much more prosperous 2021. Us.
Thanks again.
All right. Thank you, Brian.